Hello, I'm EnterElysium and welcome back to another fortnightly question and answer thing. Again, if you're on Patreon, you'll get this soon, and if you're on YouTube, you'll get it a week later, but you won't know because you probably won't know, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, yes, so we got a load of questions in this time, and I'm gonna go through them again. Starting with, what would you like to see your channel being? What kind of content would you like to concentrate on? I think I've said this a couple of times in the Patreon, while I'm doing Patreon video, and a couple of times on my Twitter recently. I'd like to do more edited content and less, stream of just gameplay content, which is fine, but I think for some games I'd like to be able to do like edited, like KSP needs to be edited really. And there are a couple of other things I'd like to do edited, which aren't as much favoured by YouTube because you need to, like, if you put in, like, say, I know I made this argument before, but right, if you put half an hour into a game and then go, right, okay, render, go, YouTube, you're like getting 5,000 views for 30 minutes. So it's like 10,000 views per hour. So something like that. And if you do like half an hour gameplay and 2.5 hours editing, you spend 3 hours on it and you get 10,000 views, you're getting 3,1/3,000 views per hour of effort. Like, it's not worth it. Editing is often not worth it, which is why you get some very small number of big channels that do like edited content, etc. And then you get a lot more big channels who do stream content, which is just stream of consciousness, not stream of actual streaming. So I'd like to do more edited stuff, and I'd also like to do more educational stuff like science outreach, awareness, etc., which I would like to do more of. So yeah, you can see that probably coming to the channel hopefully soon. I will say soon because it will be soon forever until I actually get around to it. But yeah, I'd like to do more of those two things. There are a couple other things I'd like to do more of. I really like doing the streams. I would like to do streams a little bit more, but it's a little bit wonky with having time and stuff. So yeah, there we go. Hopefully there'll be some more edited stuff, and hopefully I can do some educational stuff. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. So give me feedback on those ones. If a fan wanted to send you gifts, where would they put on the address label? They wouldn't. At some point, if this becomes a thing that people want to do, I might open a PO box or something. But for now, I very much appreciate it. Send the gift to someone you know, or Africa, or I don't know. Depending on what it is, I'm sure someone will love it. But for now, don't bother with sending me any gifty type stuff. It's fine. Thank you very much. I appreciate, the thoughts of like, oh, Elysium will find this cool. I'll send to Elysium. But, for now, I'm gonna not do addressy things. Where were we? What would I choose? Having 4-hour Oculus Rift live stream with a horror game, or pulling out one of my teeth with pliers? I've got to be honest, this is a little bit of a close one. Do I know where my teeth need coming out? You know what? I might just do the horror game. That way, if I have this choice in the future, getting my teeth pulled out of pliers probably wouldn't seem as big a deal, because the horror game would probably have, nulled me to it. Why do we not play any more Falling Skies? Thank you for that, computer. Really useful. Yeah. No. Just no. How did I get into the habit of recording daily? I sit down at my computer and I hit the record button, and I did that every day. No, don't do that every day. Take days off. Really good idea. Make sure you take days off. How did I do it? I was like, this is gonna be my job. I'm gonna do this as a job, and I'm gonna be able to live off this rather than just being unemployed or trying to find random bits of web design work. And then I was like, boop, and that's how it worked. Recording daily. It's not so much of an issue when you get used to it. You have ups and downs in like your energy. Like you're like, oh, we really don't do this today. And then just sometimes when you're like that, you're like, well, okay, maybe I can either bottle through, I can take some time off to like reboot myself, or maybe I should just go, if I try and do it, it's gonna sound really crap because I'm not in the mood. So maybe I can do something like boring-y, admin-y or something. Like I can make some new channel art or something. Like, don't, like, for something like commentary based, don't force yourself to do commentary when you're in a really bad mood, because the commentary will just sound awful and flat and bad, and you can really tell when you're listening to it back, like, yeah, this is just, no. So, like, do something else. Be productive, right? You're not saying just don't work when you feel bad, because otherwise, you know, you might be, you know, down for a week or whatever, not being able to do anything. Just do something completely different, like, I'm gonna make thumbnails. I like making thumbnails, actually. Thumbnails, I like making thumbnails. I hope you like the thumbnails I have, because I kind of find it fun to make them. But that's kind of what I'll do. I'll be like, right, well, you know, if I've got something that I can make, like a channel art thing or a thumbnail or something that's just waiting for me, I'll just go, oh, screw it, I'll do this. Or something similar. I think that's the key idea there, is just make sure you're always doing something on the days which you tell yourself you do something. I just kind of say, Sunday, Monday, probably going to be my days off. Probably. Anyway. Why have I got a kitten scratching my sofa? She's inside the sofa right now. It's amusing. Anyway. Next question. Favourite book, film, or general entertainment that is not gaming? Board games are gaming. Where can I find... There are a number of good books. Eisenhorn, it's technically an omnibus, but this is for 40k fans. Best 40k book out there by a long shot. By Dan Abnett. Dan Abnett writes basically the best 40k stuff. Absolutely brilliant, especially if you know 40k. If you don't know 40k, probably not going to get the background as much, but it's amazing because it has this amazing character progression from this Inquisitor who starts at basically finding the evil things that are infiltrating mankind, right? That's effectively what I can say for people who don't understand 40k as much. And he goes from being like really Puritan, like, you know, I won't use the weapons of the enemy against them, to gradually, over the course of his career, going and being like really radical and being like, I will fight the system to change some of these things, and I will use the enemy's weapons. And it's brilliant character progression, it's really seamless. So yeah, Eisenhorn, amazing. Mote in God's Eye, really good sci-fi book. Yes, they're all sci-fi books. Is there any? Okay, Tiger, also a really good one. That's again classic sci-fi. And I swear there's one I'm missing. But yeah, no, those are some of the awesome books. Mostly they tend to be sci-fi books with me when I go for books, because I feel there are a lot of good books, but the really good books, I tend to like sci-fi, and I tend to be polarized by my sci-fi. Like, there's a lot of crap sci-fi that's just, this is, no. But then there are this sort of element of really good sci-fi that's just this creme de la creme that is actually just the best for me. In terms of films, I have no idea if you've noticed that from here upwards, if you've ever seen in my videos, that's all DVDs. And a lot of these are DVDs. Yeah. I can't choose one. It's like telling you to choose your favourite kid. I don't have a kid. I have a kitten, and I've got one, so obviously my kitten. She counts my favourite entertainment. Oh, little kitty! Meow! She's not coming out. Anyway, definitely next topic. I could be here for ages on this topic. If I got $750 a month, would you make it a goal to do a regular pizza stream on a Tuesday? No, because Patreon is separate from Twitch. The reason for that is because you can subscribe on Twitch, and I don't want people subscribing through Patreon for both YouTube and Twitch, and then going to Twitch and being like, oh, there's another subscription thing, because I don't want to have two subscription things to the same place. So effectively, Patreon is just for YouTube, and Twitch is, or just for Twitch, you kind of guessed that one. So I don't want to like make Patreon goals for a second stream. I was tempted to, and then I went, no, that's unfair, because it's like double subscriptions. The reason I won't get rid of a Twitch subscription is Twitch subscription gives you the ability to have like emotes and special chat things, etc. And I think that's cool. I think a lot of people like that, people who particularly like streaming. So I don't want to get rid of that or anything. I'm just going to make sure that Patreon doesn't touch the streaming side. I would like to do a second stream regardless of Patreon, but that'll depend on like my time and stuff, and if I can juggle stuff around or whatever. So hopefully that will, you know, change in future, but it won't relate to Patreon. If you were in XCOM, which class would you be? You don't have to pick Scout. Hey, that means we all love the Scouts. I know I always dig at the Scouts, and they get shot a lot, but they get shot so others can live. The Scouts in XCOM are really important. Without Scouts, the missions become a lot more stagnant, if that makes sense. You get a lot less tactical options because you can't move because you're like, I will get shot. If I was a class, I'm tempted to say Sniper, but Snipers are boring. infantry are just overpowered. I'd probably be an engineer. I just like the idea of having all these grenades and be like, just give me explosives. If you're from the security services and GCHQ, I'm kidding. Anyone else on YouTube, I'm not. Okay, the kitten's got out of the sofa. Anyway, next question. Do I have a lady friend? Meow. Meow. Let me see if I can get the lady friend. Meow. Oh, lady friend. Come here, lady friend. Come here. Ah. There we go. Here is the lady friend. Just say hello to the camera, Socks. Okay, you can go now. There we go. There is my lady friend. Yeah, she's so cute. She had a giant chunk out of her yesterday. She had a surgery. She was spayed, so she's been a little bit more subdued lately. She's carrying it really well though. Anyway, next question. These videos. Why are the fortnightly ones not released just immediately? Because people who subscribe for Patreon get their Patreon stuff straight away or whatever. The reason for that is it makes no difference when this comes out for people. Like, these answers are probably going to still be relevant unless I change my opinion in a week, which is unlikely. For some question, like, unless I get like a really good book, and even in this case, it's not that important. So like, it's just like Patreons ask the questions, so it's like being able to just go, right, you guys, thank you very much. Here's the thing, and I'll put it out a week later for regular people. Now, the reason is for a week later, I can put it into the schedule. So, like, it fits properly, so there's not, like, suddenly 7 videos at once. Which does happen occasionally. Which shouldn't happen occasionally in the new scheme of things, with more editing. I'm being run around circles by a cat. So that helps as well. So that basically this will come out immediately. I do it for everyone on Patreon, so they get it immediately. And then, you know, later on, other people can, you know, watch it when it comes out during the schedule. And the other reason is just to give a bit more thank you back to the Patreons. I mean, it doesn't gate content for other people, so, you know, people who don't subscribe for Patreon don't lose anything. This cat is going crazy. It's just to be another way of saying thank you. It doesn't, like, detract from anything else. Oh, and why do I have the Patreon credit things at the end of IRL News? Because if I don't have the end of IRL News, you can make the sense that I don't put at the end of reviews or first impressions. And then it's just this graded slope, and it's like, well, it doesn't really matter because Patreon system is just donations, and I want to make sure people feel that it is just a donation thing. They're not like it's not a Kickstarter or anything. It's not even remotely related to investing in a channel. It's just, you know, you're saying thank you and producing content. And if you're just saying thank you, there is no issue with putting it at the end of something because it should be unrelated to it. And also, it kind of makes sense to be like, this is where part of the money for the channel is coming from. Take the opinions as you want. Being more transparent, I don't see a reason not to. It's a little bit weird, but I can understand that. Right, next question. Would you accept large investments in the channel? Well, there's a lot of businessy stuff. Large investments in the channel. It entirely depends what the person would want for their money. It would be very... Like, I wouldn't say, if someone just came up and went, I just want to give you £1 million investment because I like you, I'd be like, okay, for a start, that's a bit weird, but I wouldn't necessarily say no off the bat. I'd be like, okay, why? What's going on? It entirely depends what they want for their money. I wouldn't say I'm not gonna be like, of course I would say no, because everyone would think about that. I'd be very dubious. That's what would happen. I'd be very dubious, and they'd probably want something that I'd say no to. That's the thing. As a long-time supporter, blah 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 blah. If I'm going to do one-off reviews of games, am I going to do one-off reviews of games? Yes, I do occasionally. Mainly first impressions because I don't have the full time to like look in depth at a game for review, but occasionally there are reviews when I've looked at a game in depth, like This War of Mine, when that comes out on the 14th, I probably will be reviewing that because I will have played through that entirely and I'll be wanting to, you know, give a proper review rather than just first impressions because I know I will be putting the time in, so I'll be reviewing it. In addition, what else? There are probably a couple of games I might review, but yeah, when games come out that are related to, you know, sci-fi, strategy, or whatever, I might do a review or a first impressions. And if the games come out a long time ago, instead of doing like a review, which doesn't make sense when a game's come out a long time ago, I'd just do a why play, which is effectively a, guys, if you haven't seen this game, you should play it, which is me doing a good review for a game because I'm like, well, there's so many games that are shit in the past, you just ignore them. Guess that makes sense. I am kind of already doing them, they just are more irregular. Because, you know, it's basically impossible unless you're a massive channel that's already established to live off reviews. Because there's so many of them and they go past. And why would anyone pay attention to my opinion unless you come here for the other stuff anyway? See? What else? Will we have World War K if enough people support you? I'm not going to say no, but I'm not going to say yes by any means. Part of the reason is because people go crazy for World War K, like to the point where it's just a name. Like, I was doing basically the same World War K stuff in streams recently, and because it wasn't the name, people weren't going crazy, which was nice. Because it got to the point in one stage where all my comment section was just World War K, so I put World War K on the blacklist for the comments, because the comments were just getting spammed. And it is spam, so if it's not relevant to the comment section, it counts as spam and it gets, you know, removed. So I had to put it on the blacklist just to make the comment section readable again. That only happened for a short period of time, but it was kind of really annoying. So I'm always dubious about bringing back, mainly just because of the name. And also because people are like, oh, it hasn't come out the next day. I was like, but they're not going to come out that often. Or, oh, you missed a week, how dare you? It's like, guys, calm down. I appreciate people like it, and it's really nice that you like it that much, but that's why I'm a little bit dubious about that, even just from a name point of view. Top 5 sci-fi books. Well, I believe we went over Eisenhorn, Monkey God's Eye, Tiger Tiger. That leaves me 2 more slots. 2 more slots in which I can put sci-fi books. Thousand Suns by Graham McNeil, another one of the 40k ones. This is not a Dan Abnett one, which is, you know, weird. But yeah, Thousand Suns is brilliant. It gives such a great perspective on one side of the Horus Heresy, 40k things. I really do enjoy that book. It's really well written. You could go Prospero Burns, maybe is the second one, because it's basically the other side of that battle, or that culmination to that battle. And it's good, but it's not quite as good. What else is there? Foundation series. The Foundation series. Let me find it. Isaac Asimov, Foundation. And then it goes Foundation Empire, Second Foundation, Foundation's Edge. Yes, the Foundation book is brilliant. Oh, no. Oh, no. Prospero Burns is probably beaten by Snow Crash. Snow Crash is absolutely brilliant. It's basically about a future dystopian world where someone makes a virus that can actually go from a computer virus. It can go from a computer to your brain by basically fiddling with the optical signals, and basically your brain gets... It's awesome. It's a really good premise, and it has a quirky sense of tropes and stuff. I mean, the main guy is called Hero Protagonist. Yeah, it's great book. Snow Crash. Okay, next one. What software do I use? Okay, 2 people have asked this actually, what software I use for streaming and for YouTube. So I'm gonna go over this. For streaming, I mostly use XSplit, which is paid. It's subscription though, which is... it's got a better UI than Open Broadcast software, which I also use. The Open Broadcast software is free, and it's really powerful. It's more powerful than XSplit, but the UI is less good. It's less easy to do stuff with it, but it is so much more powerful. Open Broadcast software is definitely a recommendation, especially considering the money involved in XSplit for effectively a less useful system. That said, it has a much better UI. You can drag and move stuff a lot better in XSplit, and in Open Broadcast software you can't anywhere near as well. But Open Broadcast software is definitely more powerful, and it's free. So, you know, I'm kind of recommending Open Broadcast software. In terms of recording, I use DX Story, which is awesome, and you can change codecs in it. You can have multiple audio channels. That's what I use for pretty much every single video you've seen, mostly. DX Story is amazing, but DX Story uses a hooked DLL for DirectX, so some games get very squiffy about it. Notably, if you're using some games that have, you know, these enhanced visual effects packages, they fiddle with DirectX, and because DX Story is, the game just crashes. So in some cases I do use Fraps. Fraps is okay, but it's not quite as good as DX Story. You can't change the codec, it's a lot more simplified, there's a lot less options, you can't multiple audio streams again. It's okay. I do also use Shadowplay. I have used Shadowplay occasionally. That's what I used for a very long time ago, Skyrim. Shadowplay's okay. I did find it had some audio sync problems occasionally, but It wasn't terrible. You can't have multiple audio streams. It has a minimal impact on your recording, like your system. It doesn't take up much processing power because it's done on the GPU. Shadowplay's fine. And then, of course, XSplit and OpenBroadcast software. I've used them occasionally. For the board game nights, I use OpenBroadcast software because I can basically capture screen regions instead of having to capture a game. So yeah, OpenBroadcast software and XSplit again for things where I want to capture multiple screen regions. Hope that's helpful to you guys. Yes. I believe that might be on the About section on my channel. What have you... Oh yeah, my post-secondary education. Okay, my post-secondary education, I have a Bachelor's of Science in Bioarchaeology. I was originally going to do physics, and then went into a physics class and went, you know, I can do maths, but I really find it deathly boring, and physics is so much maths. Yeah, gotta switch. So I switched. I did bioarchaeology instead, which is archaeology, but focusing on the sciencey parts and a lot of dead bodies. There are a lot of dead bodies. Yeah, dead bodies are just dead bodies to me. Sorry. Yeah, someone was asking on the stream the other day about how I knew about decapitation. Because I've seen a lot of dead bodies, and I know a lot about the fact that you don't really find many from battle with decapitations. Like, decapitation never happened. No. Decapitation never happened during a battle, not that I know of at all. Because you can't get through someone's neck. Someone's neck is pretty damn tough. Like, if you put someone on a block and you give them an executioner axe, there are still multiple, like, anecdotal sources of that not happening first cut. It's a regular thing. So, yeah, decapitations. Sorry. Segue. My Master of Science is in Archaeological Information Systems, which is a lot less useful, because I already knew half of it. Yeah, so that answers that question. Your streams are good quality and you seem to upload 4 to 5 times a day. What's your broadband speed like? Not great, I'll be completely honest. I get about 0.8 to 1.1 max upload speed, which is not great. It's about 0.8 for my streaming, just to make sure I've got a little bit of overhead. And my download maxes out on Steam at about 1.2, but I have got up to about 10 on other programs, but I never really managed to get more than 10. So it's not great. It's definitely not terrible, but I'm not on fiber by any means, which sucks. My streams, the reason my streams are good quality is because, for a start, you haven't watched that many streams. If you watch anything where there's a lot of movement, you'd notice. And secondly, I don't play games with a lot of movement on my streams. For that reason, it's entirely for that reason, I don't play anything with movement. I play strategy games on my stream pretty much exclusively, and even something like KSP, where there isn't a lot of movement. Yeah, that shows kind of a lot of blurring, which sucks. I'd love to do better, but I just don't have the options. I don't have the broadband speed. So yeah, my stream quality is pretty meh. My uploads, the only reason I can get 4 to 5 videos a day, which, you know, I want to bring down to about 4, is because currently I upload every single minute of the day and all through the night, which is really annoying. Really, really annoying. It takes up so much time to make sure I'm always uploading something, and I've always got something rendered to upload, and then never have a gap. It's really frustrating. I really want better broadband, please. Anyone working for BT watching this, please put broadband in. So yeah, not great, but I do manage to push the limits on it. The streaming, I stream about 0.8 megabytes per second, which is just what I can manage, and it kind of shows in anything with movement. Something like RimWorld doesn't show it, so that's fine. Anyway, next question. Oh, Sir Fraser, no. Fraser Steen, you are not Sir Fraser. Sir Fraser is someone from the comments section. Fraser Steen, you are in XCOM, aren't you? I think you are. Because the XCOM list was first populated from the Patreon list and hasn't had any more people coming in yet from the comments section. That makes sense, yeah. And my opinion on the European Union. This is the last question. Oh, okay. Opinion on the European Union. I can only say from a UK point of view, because everyone in the UK seems to be debating this. The European Union gives a lot of... It was fairly expensive. Alright, European Union cost a lot of money to begin with, more than it had so much red tape and bureaucracy and stuff that it was costing a lot of money. But that's gone down recently in the last 5 years. It's cost a lot less. And the European Union does give us a lot of decent legislation, like parody law was just introduced in the UK. We can finally do parodies and it's legal in the UK, and it wasn't beforehand. The reason for this is the European Union basically said to its member states, okay, either implement this law or make your own if you want. And the UK kind of went, okay, we'll make a parody law. European Union poked us for that one. I mean, we didn't use the European Union law, but we had the pokey from the European Union to make the law. There are a lot of other things related to, digital stuff. All the digital laws that the UK currently have going into legislation seem to be from the EU, which is pretty standard actually, considering that government never understand anything remotely related to the modern day. Also, people are complaining about the expense of the EU. I'll be completely honest. Places, I think Norway's not in the EU, is it Norway? It's one of the Scandinavian countries off the top of my head. I think it's Norway, I can't remember. Sorry, Norway. Have to negotiate all these trade things separately outside of the EU. The EU don't have to negotiate the trade things because you kind of get them the bundle or package deal. Whereas being outside the EU means you need to negotiate from a lesser standpoint, which will cost you billions of money just in terms of a trade deal. So we actually get a lot of stuff for our entry requirements into the EU. And kind of what's the last one? I can't remember what the last one was. Oh, let's just go with the general globalization thing. We have the internet now, right? The internet brings everyone closer together in terms of speed of information exchange and being able to sort things and all of these things, right? Basically, the world is smaller information-wise. And going and saying, we're going to be less globalization friendly by being like anti-EU or whatever, just seems to be incredibly counter. It doesn't seem to be productive or helpful. And in a world where effectively I can have a website in the UK that could infringe on American law or South Korean law, North Korean law, but everyone infringes on that because Kim Jong-un is a wanker. Oh no, look, I should be shot. It makes no sense to try and then split up into multiple tiny little states. It kind of is completely counter to the way that the world is going technology-wise. So from a legalese point of view, it would make sense to be more global-friendly in a law point of view, and also probably from a money point of view. As the UK, we actually get kind of a lot of stuff from the EU for a bang for a buck. And recently there's been this complaint that, the EU wants us to pay like 1.7 billion. They've just come out of the blue and said this. No, we were undercharged. We were undercharged a few years ago, so effectively we've had an interest-free loan of that much money. So it's not really a complaint, it's just, if you go into like a restaurant and you go to pay your bill, and they're like, okay, it'll be 10 quid. And you pay 10 quid, and then they come back and go, sorry dude, it was 12 quid, we got it wrong. You can't really go, how dare you! You're like, well, okay, sorry, here you go. It's accounting error, or assumption about growth error, or whatever it was. So, honestly, I'm kind of pro-EU, mainly because they give us the decent laws, they actually don't cost us that much money, and we actually get more of a say globally, and the global world gets to be, slightly more cohesive, which is good, because internet, come on, anyone using the internet knows the global world is pretty damn small. Oh great, that's politics. That's going to be a debate. Enjoy. Or not, because these debates are never productive. And this is not Twitter or Tumblr. I've been EnterElysium. Thank you for watching the fortnightly thing. Thank you to the Patreons for subscribing and helping me support the channel. Thank you for everyone else for watching, because that also helps support the channel, and without people watching it, it'd be kind of pointless. And follow me, Twitter, Stay shiny.